Goodness, it's exciting to be back here in Lexington, Kentucky with today's episode of hashtag Rise and Grind. Are you guys ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's do this. It's going to be amazing. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? See, there's no excuse for you not pushing yourself to the next level. In order for you to create a new you must have a new mindset. When teams come together, we can create things that are greater than the sum of all of their parts. Good morning and welcome to hashtag Rise and Grind. I am your host, Glenn Lundy. I am a husband to one, a father to 8, and the creator of what is going to be the #1 most watched morning show in the world. It is 5:30 a.m. and I hope that you are ready to rise and grind. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Gosh, that sounds so soft in my headphones. I hope you guys can hear okay. Wow. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? Dude, today is Friday. That's right. Today is Friday, June 11th, 2021. And what's crazy is today is the very first and the very last time it'll ever be Friday, June 11th, 2021. So let's make the absolute most of this absolutely incredible day. Friday, June 11th, 2021. The first and the last time it'll ever be, right? Or is it? I don't know. I say that every morning. I believe that to be true. Or is it? You see, this week we're doing a series. This week we've been doing a series called Profound Questions. And we asked you to ask yourself things like, on Monday we said, we wanted you to ask yourself, what do you believe? And get really clear about that. On Tuesday, we asked you to ask yourself, what if? And then kind of fill in the blanks after that. What if I decided to step into that role? What if I decided to write that book? What if, right? Lots of what ifs. On Wednesday, we asked you the question, who loses if you don't win? And for you to actually write down the names of the people. On Thursday, we talked about what message do you want to share with the world? If you were going to lose your voice tomorrow, what message would you want to share today? And today I'm going to ask you one more. I'm coming to you live from Lexington, Kentucky right now, or so it seems anyway. So I believe it to be true. And you see, I got home at 9 o'clock last night. I got home at 9 o'clock last night. I have been on the road for the past week. And when I pulled up in my black Ram truck last night, I surprised the whole family. I surprised all of them, with a quick flight change yesterday morning. I was able to land 4 hours early. And I spent an hour of that extra 4 hours that I now had, where they still thought I was on a plane, but I was actually on the ground. I spent the first hour of that buying a new bicycle for my daughter, Savannah, who's been needing one for a while. I went and bought some dart guns for my boy Fisher, who we've been telling him he can't have dart guns forever because my wife cannot stand them. But I bought him some dart guns anyway. We bought a new baby doll. I bought a new baby doll for Oakland. little baby doll, had a little dog that came with it. She even had a little horse to go with it too, right? And I bought a few other items, other items for the rest of the kiddos. Instead of wasting money on the whole like touristy gift shop expensive junk that they don't want. I usually, when I go on a trip, when I come back from the trip, then I'll go and get them things that they want and that they need. It makes more sense to me, right? So I spent an hour doing all of those things. And then I showed up at the house with that good dad pride, right? You got that good dad pride when you walk in. You got the bicycle, you got the dolls, you got the dart guns. You know you nailed it on the head. You done good, Dad. You done good. So I showed up with that good dad pride and the pure excitement to see their faces filled with joy. Because I knew, as soon as I pulled up, I knew that they would be filled with joy. And so I pulled into the driveway and they could see the bicycle in the back and Dad was home early and everybody was surprised. And they got out and they came up and they climbed all over the truck and they hugged me and Daddy! And I got out and we laughed and we played. And they played with the guns and the dolls and all of those things, man. And it was great to be home. It was so great to be home. And then this morning at 3:20 a.m., my alarm goes off. I pop up and I grab my hashtag Rise and Grind planner like I do every single day. I grab my planner and as I'm going to sit down to write my planner, I notice that it seems like the light is a little bit off, or at least it appears that way. And so I go and one of the light bulbs is out. So I go in and I change the light bulb. And then I look at my planner and at the top of every page of the hashtag Rise and Grind planner, there's a quote. There's a quote that is submitted by an actual hashtag Rise and Grind member of the group. I love it. And so I pick up my planner. I got some extra light now. And I read the quote. And the quote says this: "Get up and dust off. Monuments were built on top of ashes." Now, this was a quote that was contributed by my friend Lisa Guillen. She's an incredible human and longtime member of hashtag Rise and Grind. And so I read those words and they really, really struck me. Get up and dust off. Monuments were built on top of ashes. And so I immediately was inspired. And then I thought to myself, you know what? Yesterday, there was a great quote in the Rise and Grind planner too. Yesterday, there was a quote that was submitted by Aiden, my man Aiden. And Aiden said this. This was by Aiden Kirshner. The quote yesterday said, "While working to change the world and create true impact, you can't forget to spend the time to live in it." And so both messages resonated deeply with my soul. You see, the last 7 days for me has been incredibly intense. I stayed disciplined. I met lots of people. I performed at a high level. I made an impact. I laughed. I hugged. I shook hands and had lots of thought-provoking conversations. I served my friends and I served the auto industry incredibly well these last 7 days. I mean, incredibly well. But I didn't feel fulfilled until I got home and danced sillily with my 5-month-old and my 2-year-old. And so it made me ask this question. same question I want to ask you. Am I taking it all too seriously? I want you to think about that for a second. And while we're thinking about it, let's dance. Fair enough?
Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke.
Come on, let's go.
For
those of you that know, those of you that don't know, this is the part of the show where I need you to hit that share button. That's right. I need you to hit that share button. Because I believe if we can change the way people start their day, it'll make a massive impact on this planet. I truly believe that. Sometimes all it takes to change the way somebody starts their day is for you to hit that share button. If you're over on Clubhouse, go ahead and hit that plus button right now. Just go ahead and tap on it. Come on, man. You can like dance on the plus button. There you go. All right. If you're out and about right now, if you're out on a run, I need you to run harder. If you're working out right now, come on. Go ahead and add some extra pounds. You can do it. If you're in bed right now, get your rear end out of bed. Come on. An object in motion tends to stay in motion. An object at rest tends to stay at rest. Now is the time for us to get in motion. All right, let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's get it going. Let's rock and roll. It's also the part of the show.
I rise, I grind, I get it. Ain't no doubt that I'm committed. Cause who really loses if I don't win? Can't cheat the grind, only get what you put in. So I'm mastering my mental.
All right, can y'all hear me on the sound? I hope you can. This is also the part of the show where I want to say good morning to you. I want you to say good morning to me. Whether you're watching live or you're watching on replay, what's up? And I'll say what's up after. Fair enough. What's up, Michael Huey? Thanks for letting me know it sounds great. West Storm, great to see you. What's up, Kim Fair? Great to see you as well. How you doing, Mr. Nathaniel Banks? We've got Sean Weatherby in the house. We've got John Paul Gidry. We've got Janice Mullins. We've got Sean Woodward. We've got Tristan Smith in the house this morning. Jim Tursky is up in here as well. Tom Popelka. Great to see you, Tom. We've also got my folks over on Clubhouse like Roy and Naida. We've got Ed and Selena. We've got Greg and Barbara and Tracy and Linda. We've got Lydia and Ryan. We've got Shirley in the house and Frank is up in here. What's up, Gregory? How you doing, Janeka? We've got Dale and Karis. We've got Latrice. My man Dan is up in here this morning. Great to see you, Dan. What's up, Evan Greenfield? Great to see you as well. Cassia and Rohan. Rohan's up in the house today. Great to see you, Rohan. All kinds of folks up there over in Clubhouse. I'm absolutely loving it. And while I have your attention, while you're doing some dancing, I want to let you know that I'm super excited to be spending some time in New York City on July 29th and 30th. New York City. We're going to be at the Listening and Beyond Summit. The Listening and Beyond Summit. We'd love for you to come join me there. If you like, you can go to listeningandbeyond.com. That's right, go to listeningandbeyond.com and you can meet me in New York City. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Right? Absolutely amazing. Now let's dive into today's episode of Hashtag Rise and Grind. Super excited. Let's do this. So David Goggins, the hardest man alive, as they call him. David Goggins says, when you reach that point where you don't have anything left, you've got nothing left in the tank, you can't go another step, you can't push another rep. He said, when you reach that point, there's actually 60% more. That your body's defense mechanism is going to kick in at 40% and tell you you're done. It's going to tell you you're out of breath. It's going to tell you you're in pain. It's going to tell you you can't go any further. When you reach that point, there's actually 60% 10% more. My man Brian Benstock always is known as saying, there's more there. Elon Musk said, no matter how hard you work, someone is working harder. And Colin Powell says there is no secret to success. It is the result of preparation, hard work, and learning from our failure. Now, there are millions more of these quotes, millions more when it comes to this idea of success. As we all know, success and hard work go hand in hand. I totally get it. 100% agree. But what if we started to look at hard work a little more objectively? Like, what is hard work? Some people work in mines. Some people work for moving companies. There are people that work on land, and there are people that walk on the moon. Some people grind stones with their hands. Others solve problems with their minds. Some people work hard in the gym or on the court or on the field. Others work incredibly hard at the office or serving others or saving lives. You see, ultimately, hard work can only be defined as hard by those that participate in that particular field and understand what goes into each and every one of those positions. From the outside looking in, what can be considered hard work for one could look easy to another. And what can look easy to some could actually be really hard work. You see, my man Denzel Washington says, hard work works. Working hard is what successful people do. But my question that I want to ask you today, and that I ask myself, is, are we taking it all too seriously? Are you, specifically, you, I'm talking to you, are you taking it all too seriously? Debbie, are you taking it all too seriously? Brad, are you taking it all too seriously? Sarah Ball, Rodney Hatfield, Alpha 6, Tony, Brielle and Mark. You specifically, are you taking it all too seriously? See, listen to me, man. I worked, and I know I try, kid alert. I normally don't cuss on the morning show. I worked my ass off this last week, man. I'm telling you, every single minute of every single day for the last week. No breaks, no messing around, in bed on time, up on time, running every day. I did a walk one day with Liza, which was nice. I worked my ass off this past week. Every minute. I mean, I nearly lost my voice. Like yesterday, I literally could not speak. I could not speak yesterday at all. I'm having a tough time speaking now. And yet I found the most fulfillment and joy of the entire week when I made a toast with my beautiful friends, and I watched my friend Liza stand up on a chair and give a toast. And when I handed my 7-year-old a toy snorkel and a pair of flippers. could we be? Could I be? Could you be taking it all too seriously? When I got in my truck at the airport yesterday, it was on a rock station. My father-in-law had dropped the truck off for me, so I didn't have to leave it at the airport all week. And it was on a rock station. The music was just blaring, right? And immediately I thought, it's been so long since I really listened to music. I mean, it's always books, podcasts, Clubhouse. And so not this time. This time, instead of switching over to the book that I'm in the middle of, like I normally would, and like I did on the whole flight and all of those things, instead of doing that, I turned up the rock and roll music. I turned up the rock and roll music and I rolled down the window. And I sang and I danced all the way to Target and Dick's, where I bought my kids all of these toys and the things that they needed. And then I sang and I danced to music all the way home. And it's crazy that I had forgotten how much I love music. I love it. You see, there's this quote in The Matrix. And the quote reads like this. It's Morpheus talking to Neo. And he says, Neo, these people are still a part of that system. And you have to understand that most of these people are not ready to be unplugged. And many of them are so inert, so hopelessly dependent on the system that they will fight to protect it. You see, here's the funny part. Here's the funny part of this whole thing. The funny part of this whole thing is a lot of us are fighting. We're fighting for the very system that takes away our freedom. We're fighting for the very system, a system of corruption and control, lies and deceit. One that feels fulfilling on the surface when we get the win. One that feels fulfilling on the surface when we make the money. One that feels fulfilling on the surface when we accomplish the goal. One that feels fulfilling on the surface and satisfies that temporary itch. But it's perpetually keeping them trapped. It's perpetually keeping us trapped in the proverbial never-ending long game, as we call it when we defend it. In other words, I believe that too many of us refuse to unplug. So how about you? Are you taking this, all of it, way too seriously? You see, I don't know the answer to that. But you do. I watched a video last night that brought me to tears. I want to share it with you today. 2% is not 0%. I don't know about you. I'm going to listen to some music today. And I know my man Brian Hess just delivered a powerful message. We can gain some ground on Fridays, man. I totally get it. We can gain some ground on Fridays. But I don't want to spend my entire life gaining ground and miss out on the things that matter most. So today, I'm going to dance. And today I'm going to sing. And today I'm going to play. Because I maybe have been taking things just a little bit too seriously. I don't know about you. Listen, if you need more videos like this, you can go to glennlundy.com. There's plenty of them up there. And just know that I love you with all of my heart. I see you. I see you. I see you. And thank you for sharing this morning with me. It's been absolutely incredible. Go out there and have an incredible day. We'll see you later.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. Hashtag rise and grind, hashtag rise and grind. First thing on